Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Crypto Insight UK posting this. Crypto feels awful right now. We have seen a flush in alts after a grueling period of consolidation that lasted months. I know you guys are feeling it. I mean, I'm feeling it a little bit too. In my portfolio, Bitcoin is down a little bit today, 28,400 per coin. Of course, this has taken, the market down with it. We saw this beginning yesterday. And I mean, I get the sentiment. It's going to be a bit of a roller coaster ride. XRP holders feel it the most after a decision many thought would send XRP to the moon. We are now hovering just above our highs from last year. So taking a look at XRP real quickly here. Let's take a look at XRP and guess where we're hovering, guys? Sure, okay, highs of last year, but XRP hitting or maybe forming what is now going to be a new support level for the coin. Former resistance from March, and I mean, we can even extrapolate that. Just taking a look at where XRP did hit in the past, wicked down in here back in January, February 2022. We did also see it wick down in here back in 2021. So that was June 2021. We've got July 2021 wicking down, bouncing right out of that. So guys, this is a very significant level right now where we're seeing XRP. But yeah, I mean, the July 13th decision was getting us very optimistic. We saw XRP get up to new highs. But guys, this is a broader crypto trend. He goes on to say, I feel some terrible news may be coming for crypto. Could this be the delay of all BTC ETFs to early 2024 or PayPal stopping crypto purchases in the UK until early 2024 or something worse? So he's speculating on this. This news, in my opinion, will mark the bottom. When all feels lost, though, this is often when we reverse. So the silver lining here, time will tell. Learn the game so you cannot be played. Guys, this is not my first rodeo. This is not Crypto Insight's first rodeo either. We just have to be patient. Moon Lambo here also pointing this out. I know some people are worried about XRP dropping to 58 cents today. I've been holding XRP for almost 6 years. I've never sold a single XRP. To me, this is just another day that ends with the letter Y. So again, guys, I know optimism is fading, but you know what happens when optimism fades? These are great opportunities to accumulate more crypto. And for those of you guys who are part of the Patreon, take a look at some of those previous posts regarding the down cost average levels. So I've highlighted several coins on my Patreon. We might be seeing, in some cases, some good opportunities to get into some more positions. So again, it's going to vary for everybody. Not everybody is in the same boat, of course, but what we can all, I guess, come to the conclusion we probably are in agreement is that the market is down and sentiment is low. We're seeing fear and greed index hovering around 47 right now, and within the last 24 hours, Bitcoin's down 2.24, Ethereum's down 2.09, we got BNB coin down 1.8, XRP down 2.6, so basically a sea of red here. It's nothing that has to do with XRP particularly, but we are feeling the pain. I mean, we're lucky in a way because we did see this initial pump to the upside before this initial market downturn. Had we not seen this pump, XRP could have realistically been right back down in here, 43 cents, give or take. We don't really know. This is just, us looking at the patterns of the past and speculating on what could have been. Now, Credible Crypto here posting this, a bit of optimism, guys. If the ETF gets approved, when the halving occurs, okay, these are terms being uttered by Fundstrat's Tom Lee on live TV. This is, I guess this is from Market Alert, the CNBC Market Alert. Basically what he's saying here, when half of crypto Twitter doesn't actually understand technical analysis, market structure, trends, and on-chain analytics, you can bet the people that get their crypto info from major news stations understand even less. This is why some narratives must always be attached to any major price rise. There must be some way to explain numbers going up in a way that the masses can understand. Here is Tom Lee, guys, quantifying a Bitcoin price increase. I was trying to think of that word earlier. Listen to this.
I always like hearing your price targets because you are so fearless. Where are you on Bitcoin by the end of next year, let's say?
Well, if the spot Bitcoin gets approved,
yeah,
I think the demand will be greater than the daily supply of Bitcoin. And so the clearing price, this is done by Sean Farrell, who's our crypto digital strategist, is over 150,000. It could even be like 180,000.
But that's only if the spot, only if the ETF gets approved.
Yeah, and the U.S.
Is a big F.
A spot U.S. because
right.
a spot Bitcoin ETF is approved outside the U.S.
Okay, but if it's not approved, then are we just lingering around 29,000?
There's still upside counts because of the halving next year. So you'll have a drop in supply again. So the clearing price has to increase, but it won't be six figures.
If. Okay, so 150,000 by the end of next year. I mean, that is a lofty goal. Even just taking a look at Bitcoin here, again, let's just bring it back. And the equivalent of the end of 2024 would have brought us to the end of the year 2020 in the last bull run for Bitcoin. And you guys can see that would have been roughly in and around there. So even if we take all-time high, and this is by no means a scientific approach at a price analysis, but just to give you guys an idea of what that could mean. So it was right in and around here, this area in and around here. And let's just remember that area there. I'm going to throw this up here and I'm going to mark it. Where was it here? It was up in here. No, it was actually a little higher than that. It would have been up in and around here. So up in and around here. If nothing were to happen at all, I guess we could estimate that we would see a Bitcoin price of roughly by the end of 2024 around $86,000. Tom Lee, though, saying, $150,000 to $180,000. And that is if. But we're not seeing that now. What we are seeing, though, is the 16th consecutive week of institutional inflows into XRP. Guys, this coming from Michael Branch here. Investment products for XRP, the native crypto asset on the Ripple network, have recorded the 16th consecutive week of institutional inflow since the start of 2023. So we are consistently seeing people investing in XRP, and probably now that we're seeing prices below 60 cents, maybe even more. According to a data analysis from this report here, they saw 0.5 million of inflows during the past week. CoinShares found that digital asset investment products saw inflows of 29 million following 3 weeks of outflows. So now we're seeing more inflows. Bitcoin recorded the highest influx, $27 million, with its short fund experiencing outflows of 2.7 million. So 16 consecutive weeks, though, of XRP seeing inflows. And I mean, that speaks volumes, I think. Probably one of the most consistent inflows that we've been seeing in the crypto space, besides Bitcoin, which is the king currency. So guys, ultimately a blip on the radar. A sea of red today doesn't necessarily mean we are in trouble. And if you guys are subscribed to the Patreon, you might want to take a look back at some of those down cost averaging zones for some of those cryptocurrencies. I'll probably post an update either today or tomorrow with regards to that. A little bit of a public service announcement here, guys. If you guys have been following Meta Lawman on Twitter, he has been commenting on the Ripple XRP lawsuit. His account has been hacked, and so Yassine Mubarak here just alerting us to that. Many in the XRP community are probably scouring or have been scouring Twitter over the last day or so with regards to this news. James K. Filan posting this. Ripple has finally filed its opposition to the SEC's anticipated motion for leave to file an interlocutory appeal. So it's all posted here. I will link this in the description of the video for you. Stuart Alderati just commenting on this. We oppose the SEC's request for an interlocutory appeal. There is no extraordinary circumstance here that would justify departing from the rule requiring all issues as to all parties to be resolved before an appeal. And Brad Garlinghouse also commenting too, reminder, the request for appeal, even if granted, doesn't change the fact that XRP is not a security. So guys, just remember that. That's not up for debate or trial. But the SEC continues to claim that Chris and I acted recklessly in believing that XRP is not a security. That's utter nonsense. The judge's July 13th ruling said that the SEC would be put to their proofs at trial regarding their claim against Chris and me. We look forward to proving the SEC wrong as a matter of fact and law. So this is really up to that part of the lawsuit now that claims, the SEC claims, that Brad and Chris were reckless in selling XRP in the early days as, figureheads of Ripple, the company. Bill Morgan here also commenting on this. Thanks, James. Always action in the footnotes. Ripple lets it be known that if the SEC appeals, it will cross-appeal on two matters. The legal question about whether Howey applies if there are no contractual rights for buyers against Ripple, and about certain liability transactions. So he's pointing this out. By contrast, defendants raised a legal question about the scope of the terms investment contract as construed in Howey, and whether it can be applied where there is no contract between the buyer and the seller that grants rights to the buyer and imposes obligations on the seller. If the SEC is permitted to appeal, defendants will seek to cross-appeal on the issue, as well as the fact-bound portion of the court's order finding liability for certain transactions. And that is exactly what they are going to do. Bill continues down here. I believe the transactions to which Ripple refers to are sales to ODL customers, but maybe it means all institutional sales. Fred Rispoli, another lawyer in the XRP community, commenting with Ripple. Brad Garlinghouse responses, I did okay. Correctly called Ripple would oppose appeal, but would seek to appeal its loss should court certify appeal for SEC. Ripple would throw up all the factual issues that make IA messier, not clearer, or cleaner than a normal appeal, and that Brad and Chris would emphasize their desire for speedy resolution and oppose a stay. I was wrong on Ripple proposing a lengthier brief schedule, as it did not object to the one proposed by the SEC. I predicted that Judge Torres will permit normal briefing on the issue. Still favor this as most likely, but after reading the defense responses, I'll increase the chance she denies even briefing for IA to 30%. Should get a ruling fairly quickly on that. Man, it would be great for a quick slap down. Go XRP. And basically, just to summarize, I know this law stuff can get a little overwhelming maybe for us non-law folk here, myself included. In short, the SEC won on the law and lost on the facts. I think this is the best description of this from Scott Chamberlain here on Twitter. They shouldn't be allowed to appeal the law they won on, so it can be adjusted to the facts they lost on. That will just raise new legal issues, lead to further appeal points, and complicate everything. They should wait until it's over and everyone can appeal whatever. So that is, the summary there. It makes a lot of sense. The SEC doesn't want to admit defeat. However, we're seeing acknowledgments here from, for example, the House Committee of Agriculture. This one from the Wrath of Kahneman. Info sheet from the U.S. House Commission on Agriculture and Financial Services Commission. So this was their comment on the Ripple SEC case specifically, and I have the document here that I will link in the description for you guys if you guys are interested, directly from their website here, agriculture.house.gov, so a government website. But Wrath of Kahneman highlights this, okay? The XRP decision in July of 2023 determined that XRP was only part of an investment contract when offered directly by Ripple to institutional investors. The decision called into question the SEC's position that practically all digital assets are securities. The SEC's policy was rejected by the court, which highlights the need for legislation. So this all just goes back to the fact that Congress, now it's up to you to act. So Agricultural Committee even commenting on this, Wrath of Kahneman saying, I cropped the screenshot to capture the XRP mention. Here it is. But like I said before, guys, I will link the full document in the description of the video for you guys if you are interested. So wanted to thank the Wrath of Kahneman, Scott Chamberlain, of course, Fred Rispoli, Bill Morgan, Brad Garlinghouse, Stuart Alderati, James K. Filan, Yassine Mobarak, Michael Branch, of course, and everybody else involved here. Now, taking a look at the concept of centralization versus decentralization in this space. Mr. Mann brought this up. Ripple is a centralized company that governs a centralized platform which creates security in a world where centralization is always going to exist. Now, we think of, sometimes we think of crypto in terms of decentralization versus centralization, and down with the big banks and governments and, central bankers. Unfortunately, though, guys, we're probably not going to emerge out of this as an all or nothing binary response. I feel like, there's going to be crypto integration. There's going to be crypto regulation. There's going to still be big banks around. It's not going to be anarchy, right? Us all custodying our crypto independently. We're going to have a mix. It's going to be a hybrid for sure. Of course, these ideologies, though, get us excited. The reality, though, is this, okay? XRP offers IOUs to settle payments in any currency needed for the specific task. This is not sound money, but it's what the global society may end up needing and using. Listen to how this gentleman explains money settlement and how it compares to the images in the tweet. Okay, this is a clip, guys, from a conference. Listen to what this guy has to say here about centralization versus decentralization, an important piece of this financial puzzle that relates to Ripple and XRP specifically. Listen to this.
No, I tend to agree. I think mass adoption doesn't happen with self-custody. There needs to be the right balance of centralization and decentralization. We can't forget centralization makes sense on so many levels. It's convenience, it's scalable, it's more efficient. It's the pure trust factor that when central parties get too much power, too much control, there is a tendency to abuse that over time. And that's not an outlandish statement, that's just a statement of fact. So I agree with Joe, like mass adoption will occur over time. Maybe there's a decentralized wallet app technology that allows that scalability. But ultimately, I think if assets like Bitcoin become more mainstream currencies, I'd probably be more inclined to expect to see it pop up in your internet banking as another line item next to your currency account. At the end of the day, the current financial system transacts on IOUs. It doesn't transact real value. Yeah. Tap and go with your credit card to buy your coffee. It's convenient, right? Whether I settle my credit card bill at the end of the month in US dollars, Bitcoin, rocks, gold, it's irrelevant. It's a single bulk transfer of value at the end of the month. So how it plays out, I'm not sure.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I found it interesting when he was talking about credit cards. And, even thinking about this, think about it. Credit cards have been making their money historically by lending you money and then settling later. If you can't make your payments, well, then they charge you interest, right? And it's at an exorbitant rate. But with technologies like DLT services, guys, that's going to change. You can settle instantly. So now I'm wondering, was there another, or is there, a plan in the background from the credit card companies to provide themselves a different revenue stream that isn't going to be lending people money? I guess there'll always be a need to lend people money, but, if you can settle instantly, this is going to tap into something very different for credit card companies. I guess I should mention Ripple has ties to both major credit card companies like MasterCard here. This one was from, I think, 2021. If you guys remember back in 2021, this one courtesy of Mickey B. Fresh. Vice President of Product at MasterCard refers to Ripple as a partner.
We think it's coming. So as a result, we said, okay, well, let's at least get ready to set up the stage. And doing so, we're working with a number of different partners, with Ripple, TBS, different companies around the world.
Working with many different partners, Ripple being included there, and Mickey B. Fresh also just pointing this out from back in October of 2021. Ashok Venkateshwaran is the guy's name, Vice President of Product Development at MasterCard. So you guys can see that there. He mentions Ripple by name as being a partner.
Different partners, with Ripple.
Also, let's not forget, guys, in 2021, Visa did acquire Ripple partner Earthport for $250 million. So both credit card companies are, I guess, in some capacity partnered with Ripple. Now, again, centralized versus decentralized, this is going to play a big part in this financial settling game. An IOU is a special asset-backed token issued on the XRP ledger that can be redeemed for the underlying asset like USD, Euro, gold, or even crude oil. So just kind of digging deeper into this, giving us an idea of what RippleNet can actually do, enabling its instant and seamless flow around the world. So we're taking this in context with that clip we just saw. Ripple is a decentralized crypto platform. So this all courtesy of Mr. Mann. I can see why the credit card companies, because he does give this, he gave the example of the credit cards. I can see now why credit card companies wanted to jump on this before they found themselves irrelevant. Let's also not forget here too, I just did a little bit of research. In 2021, Visa and MasterCard reported a payment volume of $10.89 trillion and $5.96 trillion respectively. So that is over $16 trillion, guys, in 2021. Let's fast forward to 2023, guys. This is Pega Solanti, head of payment products at Ripple. And guys, listen to what she has to say here, courtesy of riz.xrp on Twitter. Listen to this.
20022, these problems will be solved. So ISO 20022 is a global standard for financial information exchange. This enables interoperability between different systems, straight through processing of payments, and rich data transfer. And it'll also foster competition because it's open and flexible. At Ripple, we've been aligned with ISO 20022 from day one. We've always recognized that this is the direction of payments and it'll be better for everyone. And we were really a first mover on that front. We've also joined the standard body to help contribute to how payments will shape in the future. Going back to your point around security, Ripple's also really committed to the highest standards in safety, privacy, and security. And a testament to this is that we have our SOC 2 certification. For those not very familiar with SOC 2, SOC 2 reports give really valuable information about an organization's security capabilities, so each of their customers and users can have confidence in that service, which means that anyone using Ripple's solution knows that we adhere to the most modern security and privacy standards.
So Ripple not only has or is ISO 20022 compliant and has been since the beginning, as you heard here from Pega Soltani, the head of payments products over there at Ripple. They were one of the very first cryptocurrency companies to jump on board to the ISO 20022 standard. And many of us were, assuming at that point that, well, yeah, I mean, if they're already connected with the BIS, the IMF, and many other elite global organizations already have the partnerships with central banks, well, it only makes sense. It's only logical for this company to have come out and say, yeah, look, we're ISO 20022 compliant. We're the ones you guys want to use. in the new financial system. And then eventually it kind of trickled in. All these other crypto companies started saying, yeah, well, we're going to be ISO 20022 compliant, et cetera, et cetera. But also SOC 2, I believe Ripple was also one of the first ones to get that security certification as well. So you can see why companies like Visa, MasterCard are now putting their faith behind a company like Ripple. And these guys have a lot on the line, guys. $16 trillion plus is nothing to scoff at. And that is just a portion of what Ripple can do, how cross-border payment solutions give a big lift to small businesses. Now, SMEs, that has also been one of the focuses of Ripple, but not just Ripple. Many Ripple-enabled companies targeting SMEs, small to medium-sized enterprises. Pegah Soltani even comments on that, guys. Here, listen to this.
Most of the companies in the world are actually SMEs. They're also a massive part of cross-border payments. So they constitute over $17 trillion of cross-border payments every year.
$17 trillion in cross-border payments every year. This is small to medium-sized businesses. I don't know if that overlaps with the Visa and MasterCard payments. But guys, even just taking these two separate facets of payments, and there are a multitude more, that equates to roughly $33 trillion from the two top credit card companies to SMEs globally, guys. We know Ripple has these partnerships. We know big money is going to flow through XRP. One day, it has to command a high enough price. So is it a good time to buy? Well, we are finding support, guys, down in here at 58 cents. That's not financial advice, but that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.